an exciting session. We've talked about targeting, account scoring in several sessions, and many times Johan was attending the session and said, well, we can do it differently because that's what his company does. So today we're going to look at all the cool stuff that can be done around, again, finding the right ICP, account scoring, and so on. Johan, you want to maybe give a bit of an intro about your background, a rich background, people understand what's coming from and what we're going to cover?
Background, born and raised in France, moved to the US in 98. So like you, Nicolas, I've spent a lot of time in the US, more time in the US than I have in France, actually.
Yeah, same for me. I moved in 93. Who would never guess, but
Right? This was yesterday. It feels like it in many ways. I've lived in 4 different countries, actually. I've lived in France, I've lived in Spain, I've lived in Bolivia, where my wife is from, and the US. Came here mostly as a chemist after a business degree. Worked in science for a couple of years, got really tired of it, and moved into business. And I've held different positions since. I would like to say that I would love to be part of the marketing creed. I don't really call myself a marketer. I'm more of an accidental marketer, but I love data. And I love backing up whatever I present with data, and this is where how I landed basically with SalesIntel. And the best way I can describe SalesIntel is so we are a B2B data company, but we're more so than just giving you contact data. You think of the Zoom Info, Apollo, and so on. We're a platform, and we go really deep in specific data sets. We go really deep on the technographics. We go really deep on signals, what we call premium signals, what we call predictive intent signals. They are the declared intent, people who are visiting your website, people who are active on specific topics. And they are the predictive signals when they are hiring, when they are getting funding, when they are launching new products. So we combine all of this and give you what I would like to call AI-ready data. That's a quick intro for you.
I know you say you don't call yourself a marketer, but isn't your title CMO?
It was, and I actually stepped down from CMO title to, it was 3 years ago. I was a CMO at a company called Process Maker.
Okay.
And I stepped down because of AI. I felt like if I were to be a CMO and talking to the board all the time, I wouldn't get to play with the tools and become an expert at it. And I saw it as a existential threat to my own brand business. Yeah, for sure. And I had joined actually a data company on purpose because there are three elements that comes with AI. There is the network compute. There are the algorithms, the LLMs, and the data. And I really think that the data is what will win it all. The best data is going to give you the absolute best output, regardless of the compute power you have access to and the LLMs. That's my opinion. First, so today I will talk to you about ICP. And I will give you an overview of how we are doing ICP. We have actually an AI modeling around ICP, and I want to give you a background of this. I won't kill you with slides, I promise, but I think that it's really important that you understand where we're coming from and what we are saying ICP is so important. So if you ask to people, what is your ICP, you'll usually get an answer, and it's going to be an answer that will sound somewhat grounded. We are going after mid-market or enterprise companies in the tech space, above 100 employees, and they are using Outreach and HubSpot and Salesforce. Pretty much everyone is doing this. The way we are describing this is it's more of a best guess than a real ICP. And what is happening when you do this is when you do a guess and when it's not grounded in math, it's really, really hard to evaluate how good your ICP is. One of my favorite quote is, you can improve what you can measure. If someone asks you, or you're a trainer, and they want to run the 100-meter dash, and they tell you they want to get faster, and when you ask them, well, how much faster, they can't tell you, it's really, really hard to help them. If you run a 15-second 100-meter dash and you want to run it in 10, I'll tell you right away, well, it's not going to happen. But if you want to incrementally improve, then you'll be able to help. So what we're saying is the current way you are doing ICP is not helping you define whether or not you have done it right and you have done it well, because the filters that you're applying are just it's either you're part of the accounts that you should target, or you are not, and you don't have any correlation whatsoever on the parameters that would eliminate most of these accounts on the lists. And the problem is, if you get cut out of that list, you never get called. You'll never figure out where you failed or what you missed. So what we're saying is, most people right now are doing the ICP playbook backward. The humans are defining who the ICP would be, and then the AI and the machines are reaching out to those accounts that have been selected by the humans. We believe that you should leave the computation to the machines in terms of defining your ICP. They will be able to hold and basically gather a tremendous amount of data, and they will be able to find correlation and patterns that humans can do. And they will help you score this, and I'll show it to you later how it works, but they will be able to show it to you in a list that will be indexed and that you will be able to test and improve upon. And then once you have defined this ICP, then the humans will be able to decide how to approach these companies that have been prioritized. So there are two steps for us to define your ICP. And the first one is, we're going to profile a list that you have given us. We'll tell you what this list looks like, and we'll give you the firmographics and technographics parameters that we have in our database from the list that you are giving us. And then from there, we will basically create a model that will gather all of these data sets and will weight these data sets and basically give you an output that will basically give you the companies that we believe are a best match from the list that you're provided. So I said a lot of things right there. So the way it works is, for every list that you provide us, we will enrich this list with all of the data that we have on our platform, mostly firmographics and technographics data. And from the list that you provided us with, and what I would recommend on ICP, you provide us with your best fit customers, the ones who have renewed, the ones that have grown with you over the years. And from this, we will look at their DNA, if you will, and we will give you a lookalike list from our database, and we will score that list based on how close they are fitting the account list that you have provided us with. Hopefully I didn't confuse anyone. It's clear. So what you will see is, if you give me a list with Intel, Anthropic, and OpenAI, I will basically import this list into our model. We will basically give you a profile of that list. We'll tell you how they look like, and then we will launch a model that will give you lookalike from that list, weighing out. It's 100,000 parameters that we're looking at, and we selected down to 60, the 60 that we believe are the most relevant for your business. So this is how it works. So basically these are the parameters that are grouped. That's technology, industry, revenue, company size, and keywords. The keywords basically terms that we are using to describe your business. So Chili Piper, well, there are a few keywords that will be associated with Chili Piper, and we're going to use those also to evaluate the company. So based on that, we'll get a list. We will run the model. We will get back a lookalike list, and I'll show you how it works. So this is what I did for Chili Piper. So first, I will show you the way I did this was I just used public data. So we went on the website, looked at the logos that are customers and logos that are reference logos for you. And I put this in a list, a small list. Again, I would not recommend doing that with 14, but demo purposes. And this is the profile of that data set. So it's company between 10 to a billion. You can see the majority of them are in New York and in California. I don't think that there are any surprises for you there. And they are between 50 to 10,000 employees. And this is the breakdown for the industry. So that's the modeling. That's a very basic step that shows you what they look like. And from there, we launch a model on all of this, on these 14, that basically is looking at our database and will give you, so as you can see here, lookalike number of 4,463 companies. And for these companies, we'll also give you the contacts that were available in there. So Glean technology in here, you can see the overview of this company. This is the firmographics data that we have. And if you dig deeper, you're going to get a lot more information about the firmographics, technographic information from this company. And there are 100 contacts available with these companies that you will be able to reach out to. The advantage that we are offering is we're not giving you just a list of companies. As you can see here, we're giving you the score here, but also I can refine I can use filters to further narrow down the companies I want to go after. So Morgan, I don't know if there is anything specific that you want to go after. Those were modeled based on the accounts that you have on your website. So maybe there are some revenue bands that you would want to focus on. Give them to me and I'll do that. 50 million to minimum.
Yeah,
25
let's say minimum 5 million.
Minimum 5 million. You're generous. Okay. What else? Is there department size that you wouldn't go under, for example, for sales?
Let's say sales team has to be greater than 10.
All right. So 10 or more. Anything else? Any tech provider that you would want to go after specifically?
Let's say CRM, HubSpot, Salesforce.
Okay. And we'll update. And I'll show you after that we can do. So you can see it reduced further the number of companies, but already the model, we reduced it by only 200 of them. Now, what I would always recommend doing is I'm giving you companies who are probably good fit for you to go after, but it might not be the right time to go after them right now. There might be no compelling event, nothing that will warrant you going after them. So what I can do is I can further refine my search and I want in-market signals. And I can't do visitor on my website because this is where I'm doing the tracking right now. It will be totally irrelevant to you guys, but you can do that. Give me any companies that has been on my website this year, this quarter, this month, last month, right? But I can also do it based on what we call premium signals. Any companies on this list that have had funding. And I want companies that have had funding in the last 180 days. Are there any? And then now the model is going to go from this lookalike that we just defined, and we'll narrow it down to companies that are lookalike to the customers list that I picked. And we went from over 4,000 to 182. And I can keep on going further and further. So in your case, Morgan, you want to find new accounts to assign to your team. I would say that's the way you would likely do it. Another thing that I wanted to show you too is going beyond this. I did I did a little analysis with one of your competitors. So I ran the ICP Intel for qualified. I
Okay.
did the same thing. I went on their website, pulled all of the customer references on there, and I'll show you what it looks like, at least for the profile of those companies. So you can see that for them, they have bigger enterprise deals and bigger companies that are represented here, but heavily, obviously, it's in the tech space. And when it comes to the model, and I'll show you how the model was built for them, you'll see that it's heavily weighted towards the tech stack, expectedly. And the way it works on the tech stacks, we are taking out, as I told you, we go from 100,000 parameters to about 60 for most of the models. 50 plus of them are tech stacks related, and there are some that are excluded based on the list that is provided, and some that definitely are included based on this. And the same happens for firmographics data. But for firmographics data, you can see that we have only 3 parameters that are taken into account for this. What will happen actually shortly for that model is we will allow you to change the weight of each of the categories that you have access to. So you will be able to create your own regression model, if you will, going forward. Now, what you will be probably most interested in is, so you could have a takeover campaign from their customers if you want to. You could layer in, intent data on these accounts and seeing the ones who are looking for competitors. That would be one of my play. But there are also this is the lookalike analysis for qualified. What is cool about this again is now I can go and see, you know what? Let's see the ones who are showing some type of intent, and online form builders and sales intelligence, sales acceleration, and let me see. I want to make sure that they have at least 3 of those parameters, or they're active on 3 of those parameters at any time, and there are close to 1,000 companies that match those filters. And once you have this, you can export it into your CRM. You can export it as a CSV. Now let's assume that you have defined your segments, right? You have one or several ICP segments that you have defined. Rather than doing what I'm doing right now and refining the search with filters, I can build automation in our platform, and the automation is basically the when we have defined the why you should go after these companies because they are a good fit with your best customers. Now we want to make sure that we allow you to target them at the right time. So the way it works is you pick the signals that you want to focus on, and I'll pick people who have been on our website. You pick the actual segment that you want to go after. So we are going to do the ICP for my example here, and you will also add the buying center that you want to go after. That's another thing that we're doing. Again, we're a B2B contact provider. You don't go after, well, Morgan, I'm guessing that if your sales team is single threading all the time, you're not going to be very, very happy. So what we do right off the bat, we'll tell you, we'll help you build the buying center for the accounts you are going to go after. So you tell us the type of people that you want to interact with. You'll tell us the type of departments that you want to go after. And if there are specific job titles, you can also put them in there. And once you have done this, you can either say, I'm going to build myself a notification that will go out in whatever cadence you want, hourly, daily, to your email directly. I'm going to push it directly into a CRM. and you save, and voila, done. So you can see this is what I just saved here, and I will it will run and notify me whenever a list of accounts that met the criteria that I have for intent is happening. I will get a notification. It will be pushed into my email.
Very cool. Can you tell us more about that list of signals you have? I see.
Sure.
So you said there were premium signals.
There are different type of signals. They are what I call predictive signals. So funding, hiring. So they are not declared intent, if you will. But you know that when a company is getting funding and is hiring a CRO and is implementing outreach, you know that they are probably a good match and they will have, or they might need a service like yours. So they are the undeclared intent, if you will. And we also have declared intent signals, which will be activity on specific topics.
So it's more behavior,
It's
basically.
behavior based. Yeah, it's
Okay.
activity based. And we have Bombora, so the 21,000 topics. So we have Bombora is a partner of ours. We also have our own topics. We have 60,000 plus topics that you can pick from and track.
Can you give the example of the 60 topics? You said 60, right, topics that you cover? What
Sure.
would be a topic?
Yeah.
I
can show that to you. So we have categories and specific topics. So you can see here that they are all of the different type of totally different type of topics and categories that you can think of. So see, this is basically company-wise, and this is basically topic-wise.
So sales intelligence is a topic. No, that's the name of the company. Oh, it's a topic.
It's a topic. It's a topic. And the other one, you have category. We have actually a combo of categories and topics that do overlap very much.
So that's sales intelligence. So how would you know that DocuSign is interested in sales intelligence? So how do you capture that a company is actually interested in the topic?
So what I would do it slightly differently right here. So I would go into discovery right now, and I would go on. I would refine my search, and I would basically put DocuSign in here.
By that I meant you take your list of let's say the 4,000 accounts we recommend we go after. And my question is, behind the scene at SalesIntel, how do you know these companies are interested in about?
Oh, I'm interested. Basically, we have our own algorithms that are tracking basically a level of activities, and we have agreement with the third-party providers that are telling us these are the topics that these domains are active upon right now.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
It's exact same thing. So you can see, for example, right now, they are the intent topics that this company Drata is active on, and we are basically scoring them at all time based on intensity.
Candidly, have you found that reliable?
Only when you do what I call triangulation. So you don't do it based on only one topic. So I can explain what I did that worked out very, very well. I called it my algorithm was a RIFT algorithm: recency, intensity, frequency, and there was a timeline decay on this. And I would always say I need to at least have a first party intent with a second party intent. So they came on my website, and I'm seeing that they are also on G2 for the same topic. So a bunch of false negatives were taken out. And if I didn't have first party intent, it had to be second party intent and third party intent, but the third party intent was at least on 3 or 4 different topics. And for an example for you would be they are looking at qualified and they are looking at one mine, and they have done so in the last 2 weeks. That again eliminated a lot of the false positives.
I see.
So
maybe one signal is not reliable, it's called triangulation, that you look at multiple signals that are correlated.
Yep.
And then it becomes.
It's very much like GPS. I would say the only one that is highly, highly reliable and you need to prioritize at all time is anyone coming on your website. So
That makes
if anyone
sense.
is coming on your website, and if if there is more than one person coming on your website, then definitely you should go after them. That's why this is the first automation that I would always recommend you do. Once you have defined your ICP, make sure that any accounts that come on your website would basically make it on the list to reach out to. And what I would recommend you do also at all time is it's not because someone has been on your website that they're ready to buy, but they are ready to be engaged with. So tier your accounts, tier 1, 2, and 3. Tier 1, all hands on deck. We need to make sure that we reach out to them. Tier 2, it might be just maybe SDR and ads. Tier 3, just ads. So if you get an engagement level and you tweak it relatively well, you will be able to probably get a pretty decent output doing it that way. We do a lot of custom list building. We have a research on demand team. If you want us to do a specific build a specific list for you, you just give us the parameters and we'll give it to you through flat files or API or Snowflakes or Databricks. So we do a lot of that too. And we do
Cool.
that for big groups. Cool.
Excellent. Thank you, Johan, and thank you, everybody.